Situation Group is a New York City-based marketing firm that represents iconic New York City brands, including many Broadway shows for 20 years now. With me is the CEO, Damian Bazadona, to explain the company and tell me how you got started, because it's a really interesting story.
Yeah, I know. Well, first, thanks for having me, Jane.
Yeah.
I believe the world is a better place when people are doing things rather than having things. And at its core, that's what inspired me to start the business.
The experiences.
The experiences.
Yes.
Like, experiences are our greatest asset. And it's really what inspired me to start the business. And so today, now we're working across sports and music and Broadway and theater. And so everything kind of streamlines back in my own personal life of the value of experiences, and I've created a whole business around it, which has been amazing.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with you too. Like, I like experiences rather than stuff.
Yeah, I think there's research that supports it too.
Yeah. And you were a DJ.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
I DJ'd for years. When I was probably from age 15 or 16, and I secretly still DJ today in my bedroom. I still have my old DJ setup, but just really born out of live experiences. So as my job as a DJ, I'd be at nightclub promotions, and just really got to see firsthand the art of bringing people together. And that, embodied with sort of the love of technology, which kind of came into my life, is just a kind of powerful 1-2 punch.
And that kind of led to you starting this business.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And I think because the intersection of technology, and I still feel this way today, the intersection of technology and live experiences is just incredibly powerful. And it's not like that has been that way. I've been doing this 23 years. That hasn't slowed down as an accelerator to making the live experience even more incredible.
Yeah. So how do you see the digital marketing business right now? It seems like it's changed so much.
Well, I think in the digital marketing business, let me apply it to live events and live experiences. I think the digital marketing business, clearly eyeballs are moving to screens, and just generally speaking, and where marketing and advertising dollars are going. But digital marketing and technology has just transformed the live experience market in so many different ways. So if I think about think about almost like the 4 Ps of the live experience. If you think about the product, right, and live experiences, look what's happening with the Sphere in Las Vegas. Think of the impact of technology on these live experiences. You now go see a concert almost in the round with these technologies, which is just kind of remarkable. You think about price. The ability now, when you go to buy tickets, notice variable pricing is a lot more. It used to be that way on airlines, which it still is. But now you could see how you buy tickets and the impact that price has had, technology's had on price and pricing overall. You can now buy tickets for obviously on a game day for a Yankee game some days, last minute, you can get tickets as low as $25 if you're in the right place at the right time in the secondary market, or you can see tickets for thousands of dollars. And I think the technology's implication, that's been tremendous. If I think about place, think about how technology has really accelerated and improved the live experience. When you go to events, like think about the power of your phone, like Disney World, whatever that is. The ability to use your phone as a vehicle to improve the live experience. And I think finally, promotion, the ability for technology to be able to introduce new audiences to live experiences that may never known about it before. Advertising in the past could only go so far.
Interesting.
A billboard out here in Times Square reaches a certain number of people. Using social media and different technologies, we can introduce people to the arts, to sports, to things that they never had the opportunity to see before.
Wow, how are you seeing it change? Like, is digital marketing help bring new people to live experiences? How is it morphing? Because it feels like it's constantly kind of changing.
Yeah, I think that it is kind of changing in that the world is moving more one-to-one. Right, and how digital marketing and just marketing and advertising in general has come around, which I think is amazingly great. I think pretty much any live experience that I work on, I believe there's it's like different strokes for different folks. Everything is a magical power toward a live experience. So you might go see a Broadway show. It may not be for you, but the one over here, it might be for you, and the one that you saw might be for somebody else. I think the power of marketing and advertising is to match people's passions with these products. That's what digital marketing does really well. People love different things, and it's our job as marketers to be able to make those connections work.
Interesting. So is that data-driven then?
Yeah, data-driven is a substantial part of it, but also just being in tune to also your staff and the people you hire to be able to understand, to come from diverse backgrounds, to be reflective of the communities you're trying to serve, right? So data gets you so far, which I think is obviously extremely important to how we market and advertise, but there's a huge human element to how we storytell, the people we're reaching out to, what's the creative messaging that we're using, I think is extremely important.
Yeah. Now, what about some of these new technologies? The metaverse, virtual reality, artificial intelligence. How will that play in digital marketing and in the future?
I think it's all like accelerating it in a really exciting way. I think there's kind of 2 forces at play, though. I think one is live experiences are just something you need to do in not all live experiences, but the power of live experiences, I'll call it like the avocado for the soul, right? The feeling worth feeling is often not necessarily what you're looking at up on stage. It's the energy that's created around you. And that's what live does really, really, really well when we all come together. And technology to this point has struggled there. And now we are doing a lot of work and exploring work more in the metaverse and trying to replay some of those dynamics of what communal play could look like. And there's a lot of it, Roblox. I mean, this exists in a significant way in online gaming. But the idea of like live performing arts in virtual settings I think it's going to try and get there, but it's going to be different than the magic you get being together in live experiences.
Yeah, there's nothing that really replaces that. It almost feels like it would give you an opportunity to do something you couldn't do live.
100%.
Right, like see a concert in Australia or something like that, rather than a replacement.
Sit front row at an NBA game that you, instead of paying $20,000 for the ticket, you can sit front row. And I think I think it's exciting. It's such an exciting multiplier to it. It's exactly to your point. It's going to create different dimensions, the things we couldn't do in person, but you might be able to do with a screen. Like augmented reality. That's why it's exciting to be in the live event business right now.
Yeah.
You know, like I think there's a lot of pull to keep people to their couch. Netflix, Max, there's a lot of pull to that, which I understand. But the reality is that competition, I almost don't really view it as competition. That competition doesn't scratch the itch that people have for the magic of the live experience and coming together.
Well, and you look at like Taylor Swift and the success of the live concerts this summer, and then the movie. Yep. You know, you can go see the movie if you couldn't pay for the tickets. So there was almost like a merging of all this.
It was, and I think what's amazing about Taylor Swift is, as much as it kind of seemed like it came on, it's this huge pop culture moment right now in terms of, you know, the frenzy around the tickets. That is a long trail to be able to get to that point of how she's treated her fans. She's made hit after hit after hit. It's not by accident. You know what I mean? And I think the timing, obviously the explosion, it hit that frenzy zone where all of a sudden it's like the fear of missing out, and that drives ticket prices up. And that's the unbelievable thing about live entertainment. It's a limited supply business. So your gross potential is unlimited if you really think about it. Someone will spend $20,000 on a ticket or $20. How much can you kind of lift them to want to spend? I think what's really remarkable about it is just the fandom, the investment that she has made in her fans, the investment she's put into her work, and it's paying out. It's not by accident. And I think it's partly frenzy, but also, by the way, she puts on an amazing show. Yeah,
I know I have a 14-year-old daughter, so she didn't go to the concert, but I know some girls who did. And it could change the business model, I feel like, too. Like, I feel we could be seeing more of this.
It could. I think the trap is, I think for live experiences, the research that we've seen is people are spending more on live experiences, but they're going often to a less number of experiences, right? They're spending a little bit more on that Taylor Swift ticket rather than going to see 2 or 3 other performing arts organizations or shows at this point. I do think it could change the market in a lot of ways. I want it to change for the better, to advance audiences, make it exciting. It's not really good for the live event market to actively promote these tickets are $1,000 and you can't get them.
Right.
You know, and you're a bad parent if for some reason you're not going to swing for 5 tickets to refinance your house to go see a show. That's not good for the live event market overall. But what is good about the Taylor Swift effect is just to really reinforces the idea of what people will do and what they will spend to have a remarkable experience that creates a memory they never forget.
Well, sure. And she caters to such young kids that it's like a new generation that's going to be introduced to live experiences. So, yeah. Thank you so much for coming in. So interesting to hear about this industry, and thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.